I need a haircut. Hello and welcome back to another episode of What Travis Says. My name is Travis. Let's talk about Doctor Who. More specifically, the season 12 finale, The Timeless Children. Now, if you've not yet watched The Timeless Children, don't watch this video any farther. We will obviously be talking about spoilers. And since there was a lot of revelation in this episode specifically, I figured we could part some of these questions out over the next few weeks. And my first question has to do with the origin of the Timeless Child, specifically the Master's interpretation of the origin of the Timeless Child. The possibility that the Master might not have been fully telling the truth. We first heard utterance of the Timeless Child back in season 11, but at the very beginning of season 12, the Master taunted the Doctor by bringing up the Timeless Child yet again, telling the Doctor that Gallifrey lied to them, that they are not what they think, the whole existence of their species built on the lie of the Timeless Child. And the reveal of that secret led the Master to do what any sensible being would do and destroy his entire home planet and kill everyone. And then when revealing the information that he found, the Master brought the Doctor into the Matrix to show her all of this information. Some of this information. The Matrix acted as this wealth of Time Lord knowledge and information and history. Everything that every Time Lord had ever known is in this Matrix, supposedly. Now, the Matrix files do show Tecteun, the explorer that found the Timeless Child, experimenting on the Timeless Child to try to harness the origin of that regeneration energy in order to use it on herself. The files go on to show Tecteun experimenting on the Timeless Child regenerating multiple times through different genders, different ethnicities, different features, all to get this regeneration energy. Because the Time Lords, before they were called Time Lords, did not regenerate. That was not an original genetic trait of theirs. Tecteun harnessed this regeneration power, gave it to herself, gave it to other Gallifreyan beings, and the rest, they say, is history. Except for one big, glaring key moment of the episode. You see, from watching the episode, I feel that the Master is telling the truth. But I feel like he's telling his truth. During the episode Ascension of the Cybermen, the Doctor kept having these flashes of Brendan's life. And during that episode, we had no real knowledge of who Brendan was, or what Brendan was. As it turns out, Brendan was a filter for the Doctor to uncover more about her past, and the Master theorized that this was because Tecteun left this for the Timeless Child to find. Considering the fact that the Time Lords kept wiping the memory of the Timeless Child. So the flashes of Brendan's life weren't actually in the Doctor's head originally. The Master was projecting them into the Doctor's head. If Chibnall wants to go back and add to Time Lord lore, that's great. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But the part about this story that doesn't really sit entirely 100% well with me is the bit about the story being partially redacted. There are gaps in the story about the Timeless Child. It shows that Tecteun experimented on the Timeless Child. The Timeless Child regenerated over and over and over. Tecteun harnessed this ability, and then Time Lords flourished. But there are so many redacted parts in this story, they didn't have to include that in the episode. The Master could have just as well said, okay, this is what happened, Tecteun did this, you regenerated into William Hartnell, and then boom, you are the Timeless Child. But the episode itself goes out of its way to say that even the Master's brilliance was unable to decrypt these specific files. Files that just so happen to be located between the experimentation on the Timeless Child and the Doctor. And like I said, I have no problem with there being regenerations before William Hartnell. That is a huge addition to the lore, even though it completely upends everything we know about the Doctor herself, themselves. I just think it's kind of strange that the story intentionally focused minutes of the episode on the fact that the Master couldn't decrypt certain information, that there's still more information about this story to hear. So it's not that I think that the Master is lying to the Doctor. Like I said, I believe the Master is telling his truth. But I don't entirely get how he got from Tecteun experimenting on the Timeless Child to the Doctor? What ironclad information did he find out that wasn't given to us in the episode? Or am I just missing some plot point? Because I've watched that scene multiple times and I still don't know how he got from A to B to Doctor. So in the comments down below, let me know if you think the Master was lying to the Doctor, if you think the Master believed that he was telling the truth, but the Doctor isn't exactly the Timeless Child, or do you believe that the Doctor is the Timeless Child and those redacted bits are going to be revealed as more information about her history? Also in the comments down below, let me know what other questions you have about this season as a whole so we can talk about it. Well, that's it for this episode of What Travis Says. My name is Travis. Thank you for listening to what I have to say, and you will see me soon.